It's finally happened, man. I questioned if this day was ever going to come, but it finally happened. Finally, after so many tries, after so many attempts, it has finally happened. And boy, does it feel good. The Eagles have finally beat Russell Wilson. Boy, this feels good. Russell Wilson, throughout his career, when he was with the Seahawks, has been an absolute thorn in the Eagles' side. The Seahawks organization in general has been a thorn in the Eagles' side, and we got to do something about that. But of course, this is not about the Seahawks. But Russell Wilson, this is the first time the Eagles have ever beaten Russell Wilson, and boy, does that feel good to say. What's going on, everybody? Spunky 1991 coming, you guys, another video. Coming at you guys with my Eagles Steelers post-game recap. So the Eagles get the victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 27-13. This whole week was just a whole bunch of chatter, nonsense outside the organization about, the Eagles are in turmoil right now. My brother, who's a Cowboys fan, texted me all this nonsense. Of course, being a Cowboys fan, that's what he wants. But the media just beating a dead horse, going on about oh, Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown are at odds with one another. This could derail the Eagles' season. All that crap is what we were hearing coming to this week. Just a load of crap, bottom line. And A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts were in sync with each other today, and today was definitely a passing day because that Steelers defense overall did a very good job at containing Saquon Barkley. He still got over 65 yards rushing, but obviously not the kind of games that he is accustomed to getting here in Philadelphia. And this was definitely a passing day. Now, me as an Eagles fan, I gotta keep it real. You guys, if you watch my videos, you know that I could use to be a big critic of Jalen Hurts. When he plays terrible, I'm definitely very critical of him. But when he plays great, like he played today, absolutely phenomenal today, I give that man his props. Today, Jalen Hurts was phenomenal. So like I said, when he plays great, he gets his props. And I gotta give props where it's due. We saw 2022 Jalen Hurts today. The Jalen Hurts that was just balling and led us to a Super Bowl in 2023. That's the Jalen Hurts we saw today. And the chemistry that he had with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, who were both phenomenal today. The passing game was just great. That's the passing game that I love to see. Now, me as an Eagles fan, I want to see a more balanced offense. I love that we got Saquon Barkley. I love that he's a game changer. But it's great to see games where Jalen Hurts proves that he can, that he could beat a team with his arm, where he could put that ball up in the air. And today was that day. He threw for just short of 300 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns. Of course, moving the chains with his legs as well. He was phenomenal. And that final drive, with 10 and a half minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Eagles were back then on their end zone, just phenomenal, just chewing that clock up and sealing the victory. Just phenomenal. So like I said, Jalen Hurts just absolutely balled out today. I have nothing negative to say about Jalen Hurts. Well, one negative thing. That fumble that he did have a fumble early in the game. But I look at T.J. Watt just made a great play there to strip that ball. And speaking of T.J. Watt, I hope my prayers go out to T.J. Watt. He's one of my favorite players in the league. He went out in this game with an injury. So definitely, wishing T.J. Watt a speedy recovery. You never want to see a player get hurt. He's one of my favorite players in the league. It still hurts me that we had a chance to draft that guy in 2017, but we took Derek Barnett that year. That still kind of hurts me, but wishing TJ Watt, hopefully he's okay. He'll be ready to go in their game next week against the Baltimore Ravens. I have nothing negative to say about the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. They are a first-class organization. Mike Tomlin is one of the greatest coaches of all time. Definitely a top 4 coach in the league right now. I put him right up there with Andy Reid as one of the best coaches in the league currently. Never had a losing season, and he's been coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers since 2008. You're talking about 17 seasons, and has yet to have a losing season in his career. The Steelers are going to the playoffs, and despite losing to us today, they clinched a playoff spot. I got nothing but respect for Coach Tomlin. I got nothing but respect for the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. They are a first-class organization. And it would be truly an honor to have potentially a all-Pennsylvania Super Bowl down the road. But I'm not going there. I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying that'd be an honor if that's what fate calls for. But I'll tell you one game at a time, of course. But nothing but respect for Tom. Nothing but respect for the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. But boy, does this win feel good. Not only did the Eagles win today, the Detroit Lions lost, which means now the Eagles are tied with the Detroit Lions with a 12-2 record. And it's kind of interesting too, because the Minnesota Vikings, who are obviously in the same division as the Detroit Lions, if they win tomorrow, which they are very favored to win against the Chicago Bears, it would be 3 teams with a 12-2 record. So that fight for the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs, it is heating up. It is absolutely heating up. The Eagles had a shot to clinch the NFC East today, but due to the Washington Commanders, who I will talk about them later, but due to them winning, of course, luckily winning, the NFC East is going to be decided next Sunday. Potentially decided next Sunday. If the Eagles win that division, if they win that game against Washington next week, they clinch the NFC East. But I will get to that later. I'm going to talk about this game here. Like I said, man, Russell Wilson has been a thorn in our side for so many years. So it feels great, absolutely great, to finally get a win against this guy. And I know some people are going to say, but he didn't have George Pickens. You're right, he didn't. George Pickens is their best weapon on offense. But, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. The defense today, the Eagles' defense, was phenomenal. Vic Fangio, do not let that guy go. The job that he has done with this defense has been such a joy to watch. He is phenomenal as a defensive play caller. The Eagles' defense today was absolutely phenomenal. Russell Wilson had a fit throughout the game. Like I said, man, I'm gonna enjoy this win because I know just how much of a pain in the ass it was to to go up against Russell Wilson for so many years. So to finally get a win against this guy, it felt great. Going over the yards for this game, the Eagles defense, like I said, phenomenal. Just a number, side-by-side number comparison. I'm going to go over the player stats real quick, and then, of course, I go over all the other numbers. When it comes to passing, Jalen Hurts, definitely the best game that he's had this season, I think, passing. He was 25 for 32, just shy of 300 yards passing, 290 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have that 1 fumble, but he made up for that. Cooper DeJean also had a fumble as well in the on a return, but he made up for that as well. He played pretty well on defense. So great day by Jalen Hurts. Like I said, Saquon Barkley, not his best game, but he still contributed. 19 carries for 65 yards, 3.4 average a carry. Jalen Hurts, 15 runs for 45 yards, 3.0 average a carry. He had a fully shoved touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell came in and contributed on some big plays. 7 carries for 20 yards, 2.9 average a carry. Devontae Smith had a carry for 1 yard. A.J. Brown, the whole story going to this week, or him and Jalen Hurts at odds, A.J. Brown was definitely frustrated with the passing offense, which I don't blame him. A receiver, no matter how great the team's doing with winning, a receiver wants the football. I get that. He had a great day today. You can tell Jalen Hurts made it a priority to make sure he got him involved in the game. 8 catches for 110 yards, 13.8 average a catch. He had the first touchdown for the Eagles in this game. Devontae Smith, 11 catches for 109 yards, 9.2 yards a catch. He had the second touchdown in the game. Great day for him as well. Kenneth Gainwell, 3 catches for 40 yards, 13.3 average a catch. Grant Calcaterra had a big catch, one catch for 22 yards. Saquon Barkley, 2 catches for 9 yards, 4.5 average a catch. When it comes to the defense, Nakobe Dean all over the place. 7 tackles, 3 tackle assists. Zach Bond, 5 tackles. Nolan Smith Jr., 3 tackles, 1 tackle assist. Also had a sack. Reed Blankenship, 2 tackles, 1 tackle assist. Josh Sweat, 2 tackles, also had a sack. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, 2 tackles. Jalen Carter, 2 tackles. Jaylus Hunt, 1 tackle. Quinyon Mitchell, 1 tackle. Cooper DeJean, 1 tackle. Jordan Davis, 1 tackle. Darius Slay, 1 tackle. Milton Williams, 2 tackle assists. Moro Ojomo, 1 tackle assist. Kick returns, Kenneth Gainwell, 2 kick returns for 63 yards, 31.5 average a return. Punt returns, Cooper DeJean, 3 returns for 29 yards, 9.7 yards average a return. Jake Elliott, 2 for 2, 100% in his kicking. His long was a 41-yard field goal. He scored a total of 9 points for the Eagles. Punting, Braden Mann punted one time for 29 yards. Quick overview here. When it comes to total yards of offense, the Eagles had 401 yards of total yard of offense. The Steelers only had 163. So just great day by the defense. Passing yards, 290 yards passed by the Eagles, 107 yards passed by the Steelers. Rushing yards, 131 yards rushing by the Eagles, 56 yards rushing by the Steelers. Yards per play, 5.2 average yards per play by the Eagles, 4.0 by the Steelers. Russell Wilson was 14 for 22, 128 yards passing. He did have one touchdown, but Jalen Hurts definitely outplayed him with 25 for 32, 290 yards passed and 2 touchdowns. Najee Harris only had 6 carries for 14 yards. Saquon Barkley 19 carries for 65 yards. Like I said, AJ Brown, great day for him. 8 catches for 10 yards, 110 yards, a touchdown. Devontae Smith also 11 catches for 109 yards, a touchdown. Just absolutely just a phenomenal performance. I think this was definitely one of the better performances that we saw out of this Eagles team all season. Trying to find the scoring overview here for you guys real quick. Let's see, I saw it earlier. There it is right here. Okay, in the first quarter, with 9 minutes and 56 seconds left in the first quarter, Jake Elliott kicked a 34-yard field goal. Scores 3-0 Eagles. With 3 minutes and 42 seconds left in the first quarter, Chris Boswell kicked a 37-yard field goal. This was the drive after the fumble by Cooper DeJean on the punt. And the Eagles defense held. The score was 3-3. With 1 minute and 13 seconds left in the first quarter, A.J. Brown caught a 5-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts. Jake Elliott with the extra point. The score is now 10-3 Eagles. With 9 minutes and 7 seconds left in the second quarter, Devontae Smith caught a 2-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts. Jake Elliott with the extra point. It's good. 17-3 Eagles. With 2 minutes and 34 seconds left in the second quarter, Pat Freiermuth caught a 9-yard touchdown pass from Russell Wilson. Chris Boswell with the extra point. 10-17. With 3 minutes with 0 seconds with 0 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter, Chris Boswell kicked a 49-yard field goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is 13-17 Eagles at halftime. The Steelers will not score again in this game. Absolutely shut out in the second half. In the third quarter, with 7 minutes and 52 seconds left in the third quarter, Jake Elliott kicked a 41-yard field goal. Score is now 13-20 Eagles. With 14 minutes and 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Jalen Hurts with the Philly shove touchdown. Jake Elliott with the extra point. 13-27 Eagles. The Eagles defense gets a stop on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Steelers are hoping to get the ball back with 10.5 minutes left on the clock, but the Eagles backed up on their side of the field. They don't let that happen. The offense just a drive just chewing that clock up. They could have easily put another touchdown on the Steelers if they wanted to, but showing sportsmanship, they decide not to. They just chewed that clock up, and then once they got under the 2-minute warning, take a knee. Eagles defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 27-13. In the Battle of Pennsylvania, the Eagles reign supreme yet again. The second straight game in Philadelphia. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not beaten the Eagles in Philadelphia since 1965. The Eagles have earned their 50th win against the Pittsburgh Steelers in this, if you want to call it a rivalry. So the Eagles now lead the all-time series 50-29, 3 ties. So the 50th win by the Eagles all time against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they call this the Battle of Pennsylvania. They call it a rivalry because obviously these are two teams for the same state. They at one point were combined during World War II as the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they call it a rivalry because they're in the same state. But the Eagles, have in head-to-head matchups, they have gotten the better of the Steelers throughout this rivalry. Obviously, the Steelers have something that we don't have, which is 6 Super Bowls, and hopefully one day we get there, of course. But when it comes to head-to-head matchups, the Eagles have pretty much dominated this rivalry, and that continues. Yeah, man, I can't say anything negative about the performance of this team, except for we gotta protect the ball better. I was Jalen Hurts with that fumble. At the time I was definitely upset about it, but then I look back at it, man. It was a great play by T.J. Watt, who also had a sack on Hurts in this game. But the Eagles, but the Eagles got the win, and he ended up getting hurt in this game. I'm definitely wishing T.J. Watt a speedy recovery. Never want to see a player go down like that. So definitely wishing him a speedy recovery. Go over the numbers here real quick. First downs total in this game: Eagles had 26, the Steelers had 10. Third down efficiency: Eagles were 10 for 17, the Steelers were 3 for 10. Fourth down efficiency: Eagles were 1 for 1, Steelers 0-0. Total plays ran: 77 plays ran by the Eagles, 21 plays ran by the Steelers. Sacks allowed: the Eagles did give up 3 sacks. The Steelers gave up 2 sacks. Total punts: 1 punt by the Eagles, 5 by the Steelers. Penalty yards: Eagles committed 7 for 54 yards, Steelers 5 for 60 yards. Total fumbles: Eagles lost 2 fumbles, the Steelers lost 1 fumble later in the game. Interceptions thrown: neither team threw an interception. Time of possession: the Eagles dominated this by over 19 minutes. The Eagles offense held the ball for 39 minutes and 52 seconds. Steelers held it for 20 minutes and 8 seconds. So the Eagles pretty much dominated this game in all facets overall. Like I said, wishing T.J. Watt a speedy recovery. The last play that A.J. Brown had in this game, which was a big play that got us a first down and set us up to finish the game off. He was a little banged up, but I think he's going to be okay. Definitely hope that he's okay. Lane Johnson, got a little banged up there as well, but hopefully he's okay. Landon Dickerson, hopefully he's going to be okay as well, But, I'm happy, man. I'm absolutely happy. Russell Wilson, like I said, has been a thorn in our side. We never got to beat this guy while he was with the Seahawks, but we finally got to beat him. Now that, of course, that he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, he like I said, he's been a thorn in our sides throughout his career. So it's great to finally get a win against Russell Wilson. I'm gonna enjoy this win. Definitely gonna enjoy this win. We got a very important game coming up next week. Surprisingly, it's a 1:00 game. I was very surprised when I saw that, because this game is huge. If the Eagles win this game, they clinch the NFC East. So this game is huge. So I'm a little bit surprised that the game is at 1:00. But you guys know which game I'm talking about. Big division game for the Eagles coming up. They will be at home. I'll say at home. On the road against the Washington Commanders. Next Sunday, 1:00 p.m. Eastern in Washington. I'm surprised the NFL didn't flex this game, and I'm not sure how the flexing process works. But I hope they keep it at 1:00, because I'd rather get that game over with and hopefully celebrating the NFC East division title, another one. So hopefully they keep it at 1:00, because that's why I wanted that. But I know the NFL is all about storylines and ratings and all that stuff. So we'll see what the NFL decides to do. But right now it's currently scheduled for next Sunday in Washington at 1:00. Eagles win that game, they officially clinched the NFC East. All the Eagles gotta do is win one more game to win the NFC East. They pretty much have the NFC East in the palm of their hands, practically clinched. They just gotta win another game. And the way this Eagles team is playing, I don't see that being the issue. I do not see this team collapsing like they did last year. Fingers crossed, of course. But yeah, man, that game against the Commanders next week, no matter what time it's played, it's a big one. The Eagles can finish the season sweep against Washington, and they can also clinch the NFC East. They can clinch the NFC East, so definitely a big game. Yeah, man, let's enjoy this win. Beating the Pittsburgh Steelers yet again, the second straight win against the Steelers. Let's enjoy this win. To the Steelers fans out there, best of luck to you guys next week. I know you guys have also a big division game next week. You guys are, trying to wrap up your division as well. You got the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore next week. So, best of luck to you guys the rest of the way. We'll see what happens down the road. If fate calls for us to meet again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Eagles. Once again, the Eagles defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 27-13. They absolutely dominated the time of possession, and Jalen Hurts was just phenomenal today, getting A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith his two biggest targets, getting both of them involved in the game early, and this is the team that we know they're capable of being. You have a Jalen Hurts like this that's putting up over 250 yards passing, and then you have a running back like Saquon Barkley who is more than capable of bursting off for over 100 plus yards rushing a game. He didn't get 100 this game, but this was definitely one of those games where the Steelers defense did not allow Barkley to beat them. This was a game where it was all about Jalen Hurts. It was primarily about Jalen Hurts' arm and his ability to extend plays with his legs. They did a pretty good job of slowing down Barkley in this game. Hopefully next week he has a huge day. We'll, fingers crossed, of course, fingers crossed. But Jalen Hurts, man, when we needed him to win with his arm, he delivered today. So, like I said, I know I could be the biggest critic of Jalen Hurts, but I have nothing negative to say about Hurts. Today he was absolutely phenomenal. So, like I told you guys, when he plays well, I will give him his props. When he doesn't play well, I will criticize him. I'm like that with everybody. You play terrible, I'm gonna criticize you. When you play great, when you ball out, I'm gonna give you your props. So Jalen Hurts, for balling out today, you get your props. So great day. Keep it up. That's all I ask for. Keep this thing going. Let's continue to win, and the sky's the limit as to what we can accomplish this year. This is a very good Eagles football team. You have an offense that is definitely capable of beating you in so many ways, and you have a defense, actually a secondary, a defense, but a secondary as well that is capable of shutting down very good quarterbacks. So that's a future Hall of Famer, Russell Wilson, that they held to 120 yards passing. So great day by the defense, great day by the offense. Let's keep this thing going. Let's get ready for that big division game against the Washington Commanders next Sunday. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. As always, go Birds. Spunky 1991's out of here. Flag will fly. Peace.
That's all, folks.